because I know I'm a good teacher. I know I'm meant for this job, but I'm not meant for every school. It's hard for me to think about potentially not teaching next year. Hi Sleep Friend, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maylene Call from Mrs. Call's Campers. If you're new here, I'm a teacher in Northern California. Hopefully you saw my last vlog, but you could also probably tell from the title of the video. Today is my interview day. It is Thursday. It's currently 10:15 in the morning, and I decided today I'm just gonna have a slow morning. I'm gonna get there super early, not to the interview. I'm gonna be in the area of the interview super early and just kind of relax, look over my portfolio again. Okay, so before I get ready for my interview and head out, I'm gonna show you guys what I'm taking, my portfolios, and then I'm gonna show you basically how I'm prepping. Okay, so to prep, I know this sounds a little bit silly, but obviously I vlog. I've just been listening to some of my old vlogs from kindergarten and first grade just to kind of remember what I've done this year so I can use some of them as talking points because I have the absolute worst memory ever. So it's been really helpful to literally go back through my whole year and see what I did. And then what I'm bringing to the actual interview are actually two portfolios also. I did my nails for my interview, so this is what they look like, nice and neutral. And actually they actually match my portfolio. That's so funny. But I'm bringing two. This is the one that I keep in front of me, and this is the one that I hand them. So everything in here has sheet protectors, and mine doesn't. I also bring a notepad. And that it's nice to have two portfolios because I'm not having to like hold this one up. I also have a couple of extra tabs for myself if there's something that I need to talk about really quickly that doesn't have like an individual tab. So a section within a tab, for example, centers or math or science. As soon as you open up the portfolio, there are some parent quotes in here. So messages that parents have sent me. And I think that's going to be really, really powerful. And I definitely hope that they see that. I'm going to point it out. And the other thing is classroom management. And on each of these tabs, if you see my video, you'll know. On each tab, I put the table of contents again, just so it's really easy to navigate and they don't have to jump back to the front. But for classroom management, I updated these pages. Just put a section about when students have problems, how I usually solve it, because this is what I do. It's exactly what I do. And then I added my glow and grow report. This is in my TPT, but I just kind of talk about that. But you've already seen this. Another thing that I haven't shown you guys yet is my online portfolio. And I really like having an online portfolio because you can access it from anywhere and it's something that they can hold on to. So I don't have to leave a copy of my portfolio. I can just say, here's the link if you're interested in looking back on something. But it basically is the same. It just has more pictures. So just to rewind, I got the call on Monday. So since getting that call on Monday that I had an interview scheduled for Thursday, this has been all I have thought about. And part of me was like, maybe I shouldn't vlog it because it's going to be really embarrassing if I don't get the job. But honestly, this is part of my journey. This is where I'm at right now. I want you guys to see how excited I am for this position. And if it turns out, that's going to be great. And if for some reason I'm not a good fit for the school, then you'll get to see that too, because these are all things that teachers experience in real life. And I've already been rejected by a school before. So I just really want to be as honest, taking you guys through what it's really like sometimes, because my first year of teaching, my first interview was the school that I ended up at. And I love that school. I really, truly do. If I was still in Tennessee, I would still be at that school. I really, really enjoyed it. It had almost everything I wanted in a school. And that was just my very first interview. Actually, it was my second interview because my very first interview was at the school I was student teaching at, and that interview was a mess. I have a video on that too. But they still offered me the position. So I had technically two offers my first year of teaching before I even had any real experience. And sometimes for teachers, it's like that. Sometimes it's easy, but sometimes it's hard. And it doesn't mean that it's a reflection on you. That's something that I'm learning. It just means that the school that's right for you, you haven't found it yet. It just means that the school that you're meant to be at, it's just gonna take a little bit of extra time to find it. Basically what I'm trying to say is whether or not you're a teacher who gets an offer their very first time around and ends up at the school that they wanna be at, or whether or not it takes you 15 times to get there, it's not a reflection of you. It's just a matter of what schools you're applying at and whether or not you're a good fit. And that's something that I've been keeping in mind myself, because I know I'm a good teacher. I know I'm meant for this job, but I'm not meant for every school. So I'm taking you with me through all of that. Also, I know I'm being a little bit chatty, but I put out a question box on my Instagram last night, and I just said, what are some interview questions that like threw you off guard? And I have been getting so many interview questions from you guys. For me personally, I cannot sit there and try to practice every single one because I will lose my mind. And then when I sit there in an interview, I'm gonna be like, what did I say? What did I think I wanted to say? Like, I'm just gonna get in the interview and really be myself. But I've thought more about like situational things that I might want to bring up, like specifics. But you guys shared so many amazing interview questions. What I'm going to do is I'm going to type them up and I'm going to link them for you in the description box. So if you are someone who is going to be interviewing, even if you're a college student and you just want to look at some of the interview questions, I'm going to leave those for you. I'm going to tell you right now, it is a lot of questions, but I thought that would be helpful for you guys, so I'm going to leave it here too. I decided I was going to go live on Instagram and just kind of chat and say hi to you guys while I get ready for my interview. So if you're not following me on Instagram, make sure you follow. Currently on my live. Just getting ready. Okay, let's see if I can focus it. There we go. Okay, here's my interview outfit. The workout room I figured was the best place to show you so you could see it, but it's this dress, shoes, very neutral. They also match my cardigan really well. It's hard to tell, but that's kind of what it looks like all together. I'm gonna roll this sleeve up a little bit more, but I'm not gonna put it on until right before I go in the interview, but this is what I'm wearing. I'm also taking just this leather backpack that has my laptop and both of my portfolios in it. Also in my backpack, I'm bringing dry shampoo just to fluff up my hair a little bit because I know I'm going to be sweaty before I walk in there, so I'm bringing that, but it is time to head out the door. Okay, I went to Target. These are the little soft gels I got. I know they have gummies, but they didn't have them at this Target. They're called Goodbye Stress. They're soft gels. It says it acts within 30 to 60 minutes. I don't know if this is actually going to work. If it does, if it's even a placebo for me, I will be grateful. Never tried this before an interview or really at all, but I'm really hoping it works. I do feel a little bit less anxious the closer I get, which is surprising. That's a good thing, I think, but yeah, we'll see. Okay, I just got out of the interview. It was actually a super quick interview, I think maybe 20 minutes long. I really liked the interview because it was 3 women who made me feel really comfortable. However, it wasn't for a first grade position specifically. It ended up being an interview just for the district. So I did tell them I thought it was for a specific school, but they did ask what position I would prefer, and I said first grade. Another thing that I found really helpful was they had a copy of the questions printed and in front of me. I was asked about collaboration, assessment, student behaviors, how I support each student, and they talked about how they asked me how my vision for my classroom kind of aligned with the things that they wanted for their district. And I was asked a couple of other things, but just very basic level questions just to get to know me. I did guide them throughout my portfolio and they were really impressed with that, I think. And so now what I'm going to do is write a couple of thank you cards. I actually was grateful because they had name tags in front of them, so I jotted down their names, and I'm just gonna make a few quick cards before I head my way. I feel good about it. It also makes me a little bit nervous that it wasn't for a specific position, so I'm just hoping that they liked me enough to move me forward. Hello. Okay, so I ran in here because I thought I was getting a call back about the interview that I did on Thursday of last week, but it was actually an interview for another school that I applied to for a second grade position, and so I have another interview set up for 11:30. I just have some really hard feelings because this is what I wanted. I wanted to have options, but at the same time I'm nervous because I started thinking about how much I would love to teach first grade again, and I've just been really looking forward to hearing back about this school. And second grade is definitely something I would love to teach, and I've said it on camera, on my vlogs, a million times before. Second grade would be my dream grade eventually, but I really wanted to teach first grade again, and I love teaching first grade reading. It's just hard. I'm just very torn because it's not even like I have 2 job offers that I'm debating right now. It's literally just the interviews. It's just hard because I also told myself I really wanted to like weigh out my options and not settle for anything. So this is good. This is a good thing, but I also am just really anxious to hear back about the first grade position. Because I didn't actually get to meet with the principal of the school. It was more like a district interview, like I said. And this interview on Thursday is at the school. And there's no harm in going, but I'm just really hoping to hear back soon I don't know, I think I'm just gonna do more research on the school that just called me and see if it's really a place that I could see myself at. So I'm sure I'll be hearing back from my last interview shortly. They said within a few days, and it was on Thursday, and today is Tuesday, so I feel like I should be getting a call any day now. And then I'm going to do more research on the school that just called me to see if it is a school that I could see myself really loving, because that's really important to me. Also, I look like a mess right now, but I wanted to share my honest feelings and reactions and just make this as much of a just real interview vlog as I possibly could. So how exciting! I have another interview lined up. That is something to be really, really excited about, considering a few weeks ago I was devastated that I did not have any interviews. But I think interview season is, you know, coming back around. Principals are coming back from their vacations, schools are opening back up, so this is good. I think that you guys can tell through the camera, I really want to teach first grade again. I do. I love teaching first grade. And I think if I taught second grade, I would also adore second grade. It just feels like a lot of change for me having to teach a different grade every single year. And I do. I love teaching first. Mailing call. I was just calling to follow up on an interview that I had last Thursday. Okay, that's totally fine. Thank you. You're welcome. Bye-bye. Okay, fast forward to my third interview now, only the second one that's been in this video because I had an interview when I was traveling in Tennessee. This is my second in-person interview and I just finished with it. I will say one thing that really helps is those 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 soft pills that I showed you. I feel like they've really helped me, or maybe I just feel more comfortable in interviewing right now. I was really nervous on the drive over here because I haven't shared too much on here about my experience at my last school and why it wasn't really like the best fit for me. But this school is similar to the last school in the sense that it's a very small school and it's one teacher per grade. And so going into it, I was definitely nervous because I didn't want to walk into the same kind of situation that I just walked out of. However, even the interview experience at this school was totally different and I felt very comfortable. And the principal seemed very, very nice. I didn't have any bad feelings at all. And I think the school that I just interviewed at is what I had hoped my last school would be, if that makes sense. I wish that the school that I worked at last year had more of the qualities and just like the care that this school appeared to have in the interview. I feel like I asked questions that I know now are important to me, like how do you collaborate? What does this look like? How do you guys do this? What do you love about this school? Everything down to professional development. Can I go observe other people? Do we make our own lessons? Do we make our own schedule? Do we have a shared time for this? What does intervention look like? What does PLC look like? All those things I asked because I struggled so much at my last school with the way that things were kind of set up. And so it was really good to know. And I feel like most of their answers really satisfied me. The only thing that's really holding me back, and it makes me feel guilty because I feel like the impression I got from this school was so positive. I got such a good impression of who they were as people that I feel like it would work out. But the thing that holds me back is I really, really want to be on a team again. I really want to be on a team of educators. And they were explaining that there was a similar situation to my last school where me and Kenzie shared a door, and like that was wonderful, and getting to collab with the first grade teacher was wonderful. And they have a similar kind of experience here that they told me about, but it's not truly the same as having a team of first grade teachers or a team of second grade teachers. It's just different. So I'm really struggling, and of course I don't have a job offer yet, but I'm really struggling with the idea of just like the bones of a school and what I like. So we'll see. I feel like I made a good impression on them. All of the questions that they asked me, I was fully prepared for. There's just that part of me that's holding me back from being too excited. If this had been the interview I had gotten last year when I was looking for a job, I would have been over the moon. And now that I've been in a similar environment, I'm not sure. And I think it's okay to question these things. They did say they would let me know within the next day or so. So that is a little bit nerve-wracking. But yeah, those are my post-interview thoughts. Sorry I'm holding you down here. Okay, so I'll check in with you guys. I'm still waiting to hear back from that other school. And I've also applied to a couple of other places. But yeah. Also, I wore the same interview outfit because they haven't seen it. So. Okay, today is Friday, July 23rd. I went and got my haircut this morning and went to Target, was calling my friend Maddie, and I have a missed call, and I don't know who it's from, but they left me a voicemail, so I thought I would just do it on camera. I'm calling about my references. I actually didn't list my last principal and assistant principal as a reference, and that's just because I didn't feel like they really knew me, so I didn't feel like they would have anything to say. But yeah, okay, so no update, just them calling for references at the interview that I had yesterday. Same day, fast forward a little bit. Okay, it is a little bit later. Kenzie did talk to her, and this principal is so sweet and so nice, which is a really good sign. And from what it sounded like with Kenzie, like things seemed pretty positive, and the principal left me her school number and her cell phone number and asked me to get back to her today. So I'm going to do that and see what she says. And I'm nervous. Yes, this is Maylene. Hi. Good, how are you? Thank you so much. That means the world to me. Thank you. There was one thing that I had a question about that I forgot to ask in the interview because I was looking at the salary schedule online. Okay, yeah, thank you. That clarifies so much. I'm going to soak this in. I do have to talk to my husband. He's at work right now, so I have to talk to him. Would it be better if I gave you a call back on your cell phone number, or better if I gave you a call back at school? Okay, thank you so much. Oh, thank you. No, thank you for being very transparent about that. You guys were so sweet, so comfortable, and exactly what I was looking for. Hey, thank you again. Thank you so much. Bye. I have an offer. Feels really, really good to have an offer. And it's so funny to me because even thinking about where I was last year, I would never dream of getting an offer and not accepting it right then and there. I think it is smarter to kind of just wait. I think I said I'm going to soak this in, talk to my husband, which is exactly what I'm going to do. The only thing that worries me a little bit is because this is such a small school, their enrollment is a little bit low, and she even said like we're hoping to keep this position next year, but we're not entirely sure. So that's another thing that I'm going to need to consider, but I have an offer, which feels really good. So again, I'm going to soak that in and chat with you next time I have any news. Today is Monday. It's July 24th. When I called last Wednesday, they said if I didn't hear back by Monday to call. So I decided that I was just going to come to the district office versus calling because I would much rather see someone. So I'm here. I'm nervous. I just feel like it's been so long. I have been talking to a couple of friends, and it's nice to know people who are on interviewing panels because sometimes it really can take a long time even if you don't anticipate it. But let's just see. Apparently she was busy and she wasn't there, and so eventually they were like, you know, just leave your name here, we'll get back to you. Here's another number you can call for HR. And so I called the number just now, and the woman said that they wouldn't be moving forward and that the position had been filled. I was really getting excited about working in a bigger district and having all the opportunities that came with it. And I was really looking forward to hopefully teaching first grade again. It's a little bit later the same day. It's crazy to think that I've spent so much time this morning and I accomplished nothing. I drove by another school that said was open online, but it's not quite open yet, which is okay. They have a first grade position. I applied for it, and I kind of just wanted to say hi and get a feel for the school. But they're being painted and no one was there, so I think they're going to be there next week. But in doing that, it really just made me realize that I think I'm going to pass on the second grade position that I was offered. If you know me, you know that is something that is really hard for me to say right now. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I would pass on a school. Even going into the interview, I was calling Kenzie and I was like, I'm really not sure. I don't really know if I should go because it doesn't seem like the kind of school I want to be at. And while the people that were there were really nice, I just don't think that it's the school for me. So I'm going to call and I'm going to let her know. And I'm going to hopefully have an opportunity next week. So it's definitely going to be a last minute thing again, and I'm hoping that it works out, and I'm hoping that it's the best decision. Had a really hard time on the way home, kind of debating this in my head, and the reason I'm upset right now is because it's hard for me to think about potentially not teaching next year. I also don't want to risk being somewhere where I'm not happy, where I know I'm not going to grow. So that's my decision. I wanted to thank you for the offer. It took me a long time because I was weighing out a lot of things, and I really like you guys as people, so that's what made it especially hard. I am going to pass. I didn't want to hold you up any longer, but I did want to say thank you so much again. My heart is racing. That is not an easy thing to do. I feel like it's what's best for me. There's just certain things I'm looking for in a school. I'll check in with you guys when I have news. Hello, today is August 2nd. I am in a good mood because I am going back to the school. I think I mentioned it in this interview vlog. I'm going back to the school that I said I really wanted to work at. It's a first grade position that they have open. I did a bunch of digging on their YouTube channel and they just seem like a really positive school. So this is so corny. I don't even know if I'm going to share this with you guys. I cricketed a shirt that has their mascot. It seems like the school has a lot of school pride and I feel really excited to be a part of the school, hopefully. And it might be too much, but I feel like from what I've seen of the principal, I feel like he might get a laugh out of it. So I am off to the school. Hopefully it's open. When I went last time, they were doing construction, but I called and it said they were open. So the school, it didn't look like it was open still, but one of the construction workers came over and I explained to him that I called and the school said it was open, and he was like, yeah, the principal's here. I can escort you back. And I said, I'll go ahead and call and try to get a hold of him. And I called him and they said they filled the position last Thursday. And to me, I'm so mad at myself because when I came last week, they said that no one was here, so maybe they were interviewing somewhere else. I'm not sure, but I thought that I had time. But today is Monday and they filled the position, and it's just one of those things that just like, it's really frustrating and it's really hard to deal with because I was really excited to be at this school because positive school culture is one of my #1 things that I'm looking for now, and they had that. And they had the first grade position, so it seemed like it was meant to be, but they filled it. He was really nice. He gave me the number for the district office to check in with any other open positions, but school would have been perfect. Okay, so I came home and got on EdJoin because I figure I might as well see if I can go to any other schools today. And a school that I had interviewed at, it was my first interview. I was in Tennessee. It was a virtual interview. I can't remember if it was for kindergarten or first grade. They have another position, so I'm gonna go by and see if they want to talk to me, because I did some stalking, of course, as I do on the internet, and I found a couple of the kindergarten teachers and they look like teachers that I would love to be on a team on, which is really important. So I drove to the wrong school. Apparently there are 2 schools with that name and they are in different districts. Luckily I didn't embarrass myself too much. I talked to the secretary and let her know that I applied to the kindergarten position, and she was like, I didn't think we had one. And I pulled it up on my phone and I was like, it looks like it was posted today. And she said, oh, that's 30 minutes away. And I was like, I am so sorry. And so I called that other school that's 30 minutes away because I didn't want to drive and then get there and the principal not be available. And the principal was busy, so I'm glad I called. I left her an email, but I decided I'm going to stop at one more school. I'm not sure if it's open. It looks like there's some cars here. It's also a kindergarten position, and just say hi. And I applied at this school like a couple of weeks ago, but I hadn't heard back, and every time I called, I think they were on vacation, so we'll see. I'm home. I didn't get to see anybody. Really, there were just some people there painting, and they were like, yeah, he's here. But I think he was busy because he was on the phone and I didn't want to interrupt. So I just left, and then I called and left him a voicemail. Today I do feel productive because I did go to 3 schools, but at the same time it's also like very stressful. And I'm the kind of person who, if it's not going to work out, I'm just going to let it go and move on to the next thing and try to get excited about that. Because I think it is important to be excited about the school that you want to work for. Last year I was not, and so this year it's really important to me. So I just want to, meet a principal, get to feel them out, even if it's not the interview. I just kind of want to get a feel for the principal and the school, and yeah, so hopefully I hear back from someone. I'm gonna keep my eye on EdJoin, but today's August 2nd, by the way. Some time has passed. I'll just give you an update. Today is August 9th. School in the areas around me starts August 12th. Still don't have a job. On August 3rd, I emailed a principal about a position that I was very interested in, first grade position. Just really loved everything I was seeing online. And I was like, hi, I just wanted to introduce myself. These are the things that I'm excited about your school. please let me know if there's like a good time I can stop by, whatever. And I was like, okay, I know they're probably busy with back to school. If he doesn't respond on the 4th, which was the next day, Wednesday, then I was just going to go up there. And he responded to me, I think the morning of the 5th, so on Thursday, last Thursday. And he was like, hi, send over your resume. I'll have access to the applicants on Saturday, and then we will probably be doing interviews on Monday. Today's Monday. It is 10 a.m. I don't have a call, I don't have an interview, but I want to be prepared, and if anything, I think I will just stop by the school if I don't hear anything by like noon, 1 p.m. I'm gonna go to the general area of the school and just like work in a Starbucks or something. That way I can be nearby. Part of me feels like this is my last hope. I'm also really excited about the school and really excited about teaching first grade. And it just scares me a little bit, but that's what I'm gonna do today. I mean, worst comes to worst, I'm just gonna spend tomorrow frantically calling places and seeing if they have any positions, but I just really want this one. Well, I sat in Starbucks for I don't know how many hours. It was probably like 4 or 5 hours. It's 3 o'clock now, or almost 3 o'clock, and I did not go to the school because, number one, I think he was too busy. And that's pretty much the reason. I actually saw a teacher who came into Starbucks, and I was such a creeper, and I was like, do you work at so-and-so? And it turns out she does work at the school that I want to work at, and I just asked her just straight up, because no one would know if she said otherwise, but I asked her if she liked working there, if it was like a positive school culture, and she said yes. And then I said I was planning on going and saying hi to the principal today, and I just checked with her to see if she knew if he was busy, and she said that he was pretty busy, just running around. And I was like, yeah, I kind of figured. Okay, so I decided I would call up there. First time I called, no answer. Second time I called, like 45 minutes later, the secretary answered, and she said that the principal was in a meeting and he was busy. And I was like, okay, I figured as much. I didn't say this, but in my head I figured as much. I didn't want to go up there and then just be a nuisance, if that makes sense. Like, I want him to see my face, but I also don't want to get him at like a bad time, if you know what I mean. So I just followed up with another email, and I said, this was like maybe an hour and a half ago, and I just said, I know things are very busy. If you have 5 minutes, I'm in the area, let me know. And I haven't heard back yet. He could probably still get back to me later, and if he does, I'll let you know. But I'm just gonna do the same game plan tomorrow. I'm just gonna make myself available and hope for the best. I'm feeling incredibly nervous. The clock is ticking, and school starts on Thursday. Oh my gosh. I did do some planning for like the first day of school, second day of school, and then like the general next week. I don't want to get too far because, you know. Don't even know how to feel because I wanted this job so bad. I emailed him right after he emailed me. I even sent a follow-up email. I called the school this morning. I did everything except go by, and maybe I should have just gone by this morning because I got an email and he said, hi Maylene, I didn't hear back from you after my last email, even though I sent one. We interviewed this morning and moved forward with a candidate to our HR department. I didn't see your application in EdJoin, so we couldn't have interviewed you. I did apply. When I didn't hear back from you, I thought maybe you pulled your application or changed your mind. Sorry it didn't work out. I hope you get a job. I feel like I should have just gone up there the second I got to here, but I'm really scared I'm not gonna have a job for this school year, and teaching is everything to me, and I'm still glad I didn't settle for that other position. I am, but I feel like everything is just coming to a head right now because since May, when I got the letter that I wasn't going to be at my last school, I've been doing nothing but worrying, but staying positive, but trying my best, and nothing has come from it. So anyway, that's the update. I almost didn't even feel safe driving home because I was such a mess, but I had groceries in the car, so I couldn't just sit. Luckily there was standstill traffic for 25 minutes, so I cried. I cried the whole way home. I screamed. That felt good, except now I have a headache. I am going ahead and posting this vlog because I'm just ready for it I'm just ready for it to be over, and if I get a position, then you'll see it on Instagram. It's just so hard for me right now to sit with the fact that I have tomorrow, which is Tuesday, and I have Wednesday, and then school starts in 99% of the places around me. The other thing that really just hurts is when you want it so bad and you know there are teachers out there who don't care, who are just mean, who are just like the most negative Nancys, and when you work so hard and you care so much and you try your best and you can't even, it feels like you don't even get a chance, it just hurts. Everyone I've talked to has said that getting a job in California is one of the hardest things. And the thing is, I had my first year teaching in Tennessee. I taught first grade. I knew when we first moved to California that I probably wasn't going to have a job because of the timing of it. So that was easier. It was still, I thought, one of the hardest things. This is one of the hardest things. I feel so low right now, and I don't want to feel like this anymore. But I had a feeling, I also picked my nails off on the drive home. I had a feeling I wasn't gonna get a job when we first moved to California, and I was okay with that. And then I couldn't find anything up until the first week of school. And I remember, and I didn't tell you guys this, but I remember coming home and crying. I talked to a couple of my friends and I was like, this school does not feel right. I don't like it. My interview was an hour and a half long, and he asked me 2 questions. He was just talking about himself the whole time, and I hated it, but I felt like I had to take the job so I could be teaching again. And yes, I'm glad I got to teach, but that school was so hard. The second I got there, nobody accepted me. People were rude from the get-go. People were judgy from the get-go. It was terrible. I went to admin for support. They didn't give me any support. They just said, basically, get over it. If they don't like you, there's nothing you can do about it. I said I'm trying to kill them with kindness, and they were like, don't even bother. I was like, last year was terrible, and that's why I'm being so picky, because I don't want to work at a school unless I feel like I can be happy there. And it's hard when you're going through this to see so many of your friends happy where they are, and I hate to say that, but it is. It's just hard sometimes, and I just want it more than anything. And I've stayed so positive this whole time, and this is just everything that I was afraid of. I need to breathe. So I feel like I just need to let it out. And I just want to say thank you to you guys, because you've done a really great job at helping me keep my head up, even though I've been struggling this whole time. But it's also been hard because every day I get messages from teachers or even principals at schools all over the country saying they would love to have me, but I'm not close enough. And it just feels like everywhere that's close to me, I don't even get a shot. But like I said, I'm gonna work really hard tomorrow and Wednesday. You never know what could happen or what's out there. So thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry this vlog was so sad. I'm really hoping for the best. I'm hoping that this is all happening for a reason. And I'm gonna get a lot of sleep tonight. Okay, bye.